Hello, and welcome to beautiful Newmarket, Virginia. I'm Andrew Kipps, and soon I will be joined by my colleague, Hannah Hollingsworth. It will be our pleasure to bring you this season of Newmarket Rebels Baseball live on YouTube. We will be here for all 21 regular season home games, as well as any postseason play that occurs here at Rebel Park. A little background information on the Rebels for those of you joining us for the first time. We were founded in 1923 and have been in continuous operation ever since. We're members of the Valley Baseball League, which stretches 192 miles along the length of the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. The league consists of 12 teams, which are divided into two divisions, the North and the South. The Rebels are the southernmost team in the Northern Division, meaning that most of our games this season will be traveling to the North. Teams in the Valley League are playing for the right to host the Jim Limeweaver Cup and be crowned Valley League champions. To get there, we will play a 42-game regular season schedule, playing each team in the opposite division twice, home and away, and each divisional opponent 6 times, 3 times at home and 3 times on the road. At the end of the regular season, all the teams in the league will make the playoffs, with the top 2 teams in each division receiving a bye into the second round. Playoffs will be single elimination until the championship series. The top team in the North will face off against the top team from the South in a best-of-3 championship series. Tonight is the home opener for the Rebels. We were supposed to begin the season Friday night at Purcellville. That game was rained out. Instead, the season opener was last night in Winchester, where the Rebels fell to the Winchester Royals by a score of 14-4 in 8 innings. Leading the Rebels at the plate in that game, we had Matthew Murphy, 2 hits and an RBI. Jonathan Mallow, a returning Rebel, who we will hear a little bit more about in just a moment, had 2 RBIs and multiple good plate appearances. I'm going to kick things over to my colleague, Hannah Hollingsworth, to talk about some of the returning Rebels who were with us last year, or in one case, 2 years ago, and have made their way back to Newmarket for this season.
Good evening. The Rebels have 7 returning players this year, 6 of which coming from last season in 2024, and 1 of which coming from 2023, that player being Andrew Lynch. There's our nice graphic. Looking very pretty, all cut out and stuff. Starting off, I'll go with the pitchers. Andrew Lynch, coming out of West Virginia Tech in 2023. He pitched 13 games in relief with a 6.96 ERA and 20 2/3 innings. Our starting pitcher tonight, Spencer Williams from Liberty University, was on our team in 2024. He started 7 games total, pitching 30 2/3 innings, 3-1 on the season with a 3.52 ERA. One of the Rebels' best starters, pitching primarily on Sundays. Garrett Wright, coming from Augusta State University, also played in 2024. He had a 4.77 ERA in 14 games. He moved into a starter role towards the end of the season. He ended up starting 6 games total and pitched 37 2/3 total innings. Now to our batters that are returning, there are 4. John Dobkowski from Enterprise State Junior College, played in 2024, 7 games for the Rebels, went 4 for 11 with 4 runs, a double, triple, and 2 RBIs, along with his brother Michael Dobkowski, also from Enterprise State JUCO. In 2024, 4 games, 7 for 20 with 4 runs, a double, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs. Both pretty productive players. Started on the Woodstock River Bandits, ended up making their way over to the Rebels near the end of the season in the last 3 quarters of it. Or the last quarter of it, excuse me. Jonathan Mallow from Potomac State University in the lineup tonight. 286 average in 28 games. He was 26 for 91 with 3 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 12 RBIs. Primarily a leadoff hitter for the Rebels. Ended up tearing his UCL in a game against Purcellville, coming in to pitch in relief. So his first game back was last night, and as Andrew mentioned, he was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs on that hit. So good to see him back in action. And then lastly, Blaine Waltemeyer, another very productive player for the Rebels at the plate last season. He's from Penn State Harrisburg. He had a 327 average, was 37 for 113 with 4 doubles, 2 home runs, and 17 RBIs. So very consistently putting in some work for the Rebels, putting the ball in play, and getting things done. So we're excited to have those boys back, and excited to see how the season ends up going.
Thanks, Hannah. It's always exciting to have multiple players coming back, especially
Absolutely.
some that had success with us last season. We're going to stay with you here for a few more minutes before we take a brief break. We try to time things so we don't do our pregame at the same time as the public address announcer in the park, because he is a little bit boisterous, as you'll find out as we go. Before we take that break, we're going to talk about some players to watch for the Rebels coming into this season. Hannah just talked about Blaine Waltemeyer. Had a successful season for the Rebels last year, and that translated into a great spring at Penn State Harrisburg. Blaine hit 394, 8 home runs, and 57 RBIs in 48 games played. That performance earned him first-team All-Conference and Region honors, as well as fifth-team All-American honors from D3Baseball.com. Very exciting to have Blaine back. I don't think he is actually in town yet, but
I don't think he is either. Wasn't in the starting lineup last night.
I'm sure we'll see him in the lineup coming off of that first-team All-North Division performance last year. We also have Chris Harbert from Potomac State over in West Virginia. During his spring season, he hit 398 with an on-base percentage over 500, hoping to continue that trend with the Rebels. I don't know that over 500 is realistic, but certainly looking for somebody that gets on base a lot.
Absolutely. Anything close to it.
Next on our list, we have Matt Murphy from Salem Community College in New Jersey. Matt hit 319 this spring with 6 home runs, following a very successful freshman season in 2024 where he hit over 400. He is also quite the threat on the base paths, having 27 steals this spring.
Excited to see some of that tonight, potentially, with him in the lineup. I believe he's in the lineup tonight. Yeah, he is. So hopefully we can see some base running around tonight. I don't think I saw much of it last night.
I love some stolen bases.
Me too.
Last on our list for players to watch, Wyatt Land from the University of Georgia. Well, limited action this spring for the Bulldogs, but was certainly a strikeout threat. Notably, he is Coach Shepard, the Rebels head coach's first recruit out of the SEC. We're excited to see what he brings to the table. Don't think he is in town yet either, as Georgia still in postseason play.
Yeah, I believe most of these guys aren't in yet except Murphy, but they'll be coming in soon as their college seasons end up wrapping up.
With all of that said, we're getting ready to have our public address announcer get started with his in-stadium announcements. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes. It is a 7:30 start here in Newmarket. The Waynesboro Generals still on the field taking infield, outfield. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be back with the starting lineups for both teams and the first pitch in about 10 minutes.
This is your first trip to Rebel Park. CB Alger.
And welcome back once again. We have the ceremonial first pitch going on the field.
And again, the Alger family means a lot to the Rebel family. So as his father adorns our message center. So to throw out the first pitch tonight, our newlyweds. Come on, Johnny, you gotta get up there with him. I told him he has to throw off the mound because that's where he got married.
The Alger delivered first pitch.
Nice.
Bit outside, but a good effort.
Can't be too critical. We've all seen my first pitches. Not the best.
All right, folks, we're going to give you tonight's starting lineups. We try to avoid talking when the PA is going too loud because it washes out our voices, but starting lineup for the visiting Waynesboro Generals. Leading off the shortstop from Virginia Military Institute, Seth Buchanan. Batting second, the center fielder from Presbyterian, James Green. Batting third, playing right field from Gordon College, Daniel Smith. Batting fourth and playing first base from UNC Greensboro, Parker Wright. Batting fifth, the designated hitter from Northern Oklahoma College, Hendrick Vandermeer. Batting sixth, playing third base from Kennesaw State, Anthony Clavette. Batting seventh, playing left field, Kaiser Harrington out of the University of Texas, Arlington. Batting eighth, playing second base from Jacksonville State University, Jackson Pate. Batting ninth, the catcher from the University of Maryland, Jake Morgan.
I'll set the field for the Rebels tonight. In left field, Ike Schmidley. In center field, Logan Kelly. And in right field, Cameron Baker. From third to first, Jack Johnson, Caleb Newcomer, Jonathan Mallow, and Matt Murphy. On the mound for the Rebels is Spencer Williams, and behind the plate is John Dobkowski. I'll make sure to get the Rebels starting lineup as soon as I can, which might have to be in between the inning.
Yep, we'll get you the Rebels' full starting lineup as we go. Spencer Williams on the mound tonight for Newmarket. He is a returning Rebel, the junior from Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, about 2 hours from Newmarket. Pitched to a 3.52 ERA in 30.1 innings for the Rebels last season. We'll likely see him as a regular Sunday starter. That's how his schedule was last year. He pitched every Sunday. I think he's still living in Lynchburg and then just comes in for the weekend to play with the Rebels. He is completing his warm-up pitches. And we are ready for action here in Newmarket, the home opener for the Newmarket Rebels.
Seth Buchanan up to the plate.
Spencer Williams ready for the first pitch. In for a called strike.
Start time, 7:32.
7:32 official start time here in Newmarket. Only 2 minutes late on the first game of the season. Not too bad. Second pitch, check swing, foul ball down the first base line.
Buchanan 2 for 7 so far in 2 games for the Generals. 1 run scored, one of those hits being a double, so a pretty productive batter and a pretty productive leadoff batter for the Generals, it seems, this far in the season.
Pitch. This is just high for ball 1.
Spencer Williams was very consistent at the beginning of last season. I believe held a lower ERA for quite a while.
That one's fouled out of play down the first base line.
I think he had like 1 or 2 tough games towards the end of the year that made his ERA go a little bit lower, but very productive pitcher, had a lot of honors, I believe, throughout the year, and if he pitched more than just on Sundays, he probably would have been a lot more known throughout the league.
Pitch is up and away, 2-2 count. Ground ball up the middle. That one's into center field for a leadoff single. Cannon reaches.
Cannon's third hit in 3 games. Not bad at all. Starting off the season early. Buchanan out of VMI, Virginia Military Institute.
Brings up James Green, the center fielder.
James Green, another productive batter for the Generals, 2 for 8 with a double and 2 runs scored and an RBI. Waynesboro, one of the 4 teams in the league who have played 2 games so far. Most games got rained out Friday night, which was supposed to be opening day.
First pitch was high for a ball. Second pitch spiked in the 2-0 on Green. Both teams wearing dark blue tops tonight. Might be a little bit confusing. Also, the same, very similar hats.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about before the game. That one is in for a called strike.
That was a nice pitch, nearly right down the middle.
Rebels-
Waynesboro.
Go ahead, Ian.
Waynesboro's 0 for 2 so far this season. As I mentioned, only one of the 4 teams to play on Friday night lost to the Turks 12-10 in that game, and they lost to the Braves last night in 8 innings with a mercy rule 10-0.
Called strike on a breaking ball from Williams. Two-two pitch is down in the dirt. Rebels traditionally have had all dark blue caps. This season, a white panel on the front with a red R and a red bill. Oh, strike 3. Green goes down looking. First strikeout of the season for Spencer.
Green turnaround, gave the umpire a look on that one, wasn't too happy. Definitely thought that he earned that walk. Was very patient at the plate, but didn't end up working out in his favor.
Rebels wearing white pants, dark blue tops, blue socks with the stirrup styling. Runner is off. Throw down to second is off the runner's legs into left center field. Going to be a stolen base for Buchanan, and he is going to advance third base on a throwing error, E2 by the catcher. Bit of unfortunate luck there for the Rebel catcher as the ball deflected off of Buchanan's legs as he was diving headfirst into second. So now on third with 1 out.
Throw was a little offline, just a little bit to the right of second base. Ended up making contact with Buchanan. Smith's also appeared in a game this season.
Ball brings the count to 2-0.
He's 1 for 5 with 2 runs in in 2 games, excuse me.
Swing and a miss. If you're back with us from last year, you'll know that it's a new camera angle, so bear with us as we're getting used to switching camera angles here. I know I didn't get you a view of third base there, but there was no play.
Yeah, we also have some Wi-Fi issues. Hopefully this will do. Hopefully it gets sorted out soon as well. So we apologize for any technical errors tonight. First game of the season is always a little test run to figure out everything.
Always keep in mind that if we do for some reason go down, we'll be back. So just stay tuned, keep an eye on our socials and YouTube, and we'll do our best to get back online as soon as possible. Hopefully we won't have any interruptions.
4-pitch walk issued to Daniel Smith.
Brings up Parker Wright. Parker White, apologies.
Very misleading. That's my fault. I wrote that wrong on our lineups. First pitch to White was a ball.
Runners off to second. Throw, no throw.
Pitch was called a strike.
Puts that one in his pocket. And Smith has a stolen base. takes the double play out of order for Newmarket.
White's been in both games so far, 1 for 7 total. 1-1 count on White. Pitch just misses on the outside.
That one squirts away from Dobkowski behind the plate, but runners stay put. 3 balls, 1 strikes on Parker White. Cleanup hitter for the Generals. Attacked by a butt in the boost. Did not go well. That one is lined into left field. Schmitty has it. Gets it in, but it will be a sacrifice fly. Keenan comes around to score on the sacrifice fly to left field from White. Brings up Hank Vandermeer,
That ball was
designated hitter.
nicely hit out to left center. Made Schmidley run just enough that runner at third, Buchanan had enough time to make it in there. Get a lead early for the Generals.
First pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1.
Nice inside pitch from Williams.
Comes ahead of Vandermeer. 0-1.
Vandermeer 0 for 1, only appeared in one game. Not sure which night that was. Not too advanced in the statistics right now at this point in the season. Another nice pitch from Williams there to make the count 0-2.
Statistics are available on the Valley League website. It's a bit of a mess right now, but I promise if you look hard enough, they are there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Those stats are much easier to find on a desktop computer. For some
That is
reason, the mobile
true.
version is worse.
Yeah.
Runner dancing around second. 1-2 pitch misses down and away. 2-2.
Nice pitch to try and get Vandermeer to swing. Vandermeer didn't fall for it though, being patient. Working Williams.
Fouled off down the third base line. Special guest in the press box, commissioner of the Valley League, Porky Bowman. Porky is an affectionate nickname, Robert being his given name. But most people call him Porky. 2-2 pitch. Fouled straight back at us.
Vandermeer doing a good job working this count. Not sure what Williams' pitch count is at right now, but he's at 28 so far.
A little bit higher than you'd like to see in first inning.
A walk, a single, couple worked counts. Here's another one that's full.
Rebels, being early in the season, are a little bit low on pitchers. Still waiting for some to get in. I think 4, possibly 5 pitchers available. That's something to keep an eye on with an elevated pitch count. Runner is off to third, pitches in the dirt. Ball 4, Dobkowski puts it in his pocket once again. General's still cooking here in the first.
Say probably a good call from Dobkowski there. A little bit of a risk, but now you can turn a play at any base. Whereas that throw could have gotten away from the third baseman. Never know at this point in the season, still early. Team doesn't know each other that well. Working on chemistry, getting everything going.
Grounded to shortstop. Oh, close play at first. Heard some calls of safe from the stands, but first base umpire punches them out. That's the third out of the inning.
That was Clavette.
1 run, 1 hit, and there was 1.
With that 6-3 putout.
We're going to take a brief break between innings, and we'll be right back. Waynesboro on the field for the bottom of the first. We're going to kick it over to Hannah for the Rebels starting lineup.
Batting leadoff tonight at second base from Potomac State College, and wearing number 12 is Jonathan Mallow. Batting second tonight in center field from Colorado State Pueblo, Logan Kelly wearing number 15. Batting third tonight, number 18, Mike Dobkowski. He's the designated hitter from Enterprise State Junior College. Batting cleanup, Jack Johnson. He's also over at third base from Oklahoma City University. Batting fifth tonight in left field from James Madison University is number 9, Ike Schmidley. Batting sixth at first base from Salem Community College is Matt Murphy, wearing number 6. Batting seventh, wearing number 13, and behind the plate for the Rebels from Enterprise State Junior College is John Dobkowski. Batting eighth tonight at shortstop, wearing number 11 from Shippensburg University is Caleb Newcomer. And rounding out the order for the Rebels in right field from Frederick Community College is Cameron Baker, wearing number 29. On the mound for the Generals is Jordan Bright. He's from North Carolina A&C. Also quickly set the field. Harrington in left field, Green in center, Smith in right for the Generals, and from third to first, Clavette, Buchanan, Pate, White, Bright on the mound, and Morgan behind the plate for the Generals. Mallow leading off this game.
Mallow, returning Rebel, missed the entire college season with an injury sustained here last summer. Happy to see him back in action, though. First pitch high for a ball. Bright, a tall right-handed pitcher. Mallow, left-handed batter.
Mallow 2 RBIs last night in his first game back in 9 months. Exciting to see him back on the field.
Second pitch is called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 on Mallow. Misses low, 2-1. Love to hear from you all. You can comment on our YouTube live. Like to interact with you out there. Let us know where you're listening from, who you're supporting. Pitch is fouled back into the backstop.
Very interactive backstop installed 2 or 3 years ago. Balls bounce a lot. Catchers never know what's coming every time that ball hits the backstop.
Probably the last season of the Super Ricochet backstop, as padding is coming in the future, but this year it is. You'll see some crazy caroms. Got to be careful on those pass balls. Speaking of being careful, that one
Nearly hits Logan
dangerous
Kelly.
for Logan Kelly in the on-deck circle as Mallow fouled it off.
Impressively barely flinched, though.
The Kelly just out of view left there on that camera view. 2-2 to Mallow. Misses up and in. Count.
Mallow, a returning player, as I mentioned earlier, 286 average in 28 games. 3 doubles, a triple, a home run, 12 RBIs.
Ground ball. Shortstop to his left. Long throw across. Good throw. He gets Mallow. That's a 6-3 putout for the first out of the inning.
Nice throw over to first by Seth Buchanan for the Generals for out number 1.
From Colorado State University.
Failed in my producer role on that one, Hannah. I didn't switch the camera.
It's okay.
We'll get there,
First game.
folks. It is the first game. We'll do our best, but we'll get better as we go here. I promise you that. 1 out. Logan Kelly at the plate.
Bear with us.
Called strike.
And I'm failing in the stats roll right now. Actually, don't even have our stats from last night pulled up. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
That one skied middle of the infield, actually a little on the third base side. Third baseman collects it for the second out of the inning.
Kelly ended up having a hit last night. He was also hit by a pitch, so glad to see that he's back in the lineup, and it didn't hurt too bad, I guess.
Designated hitter number 18, Mike Dabkowski.
Brings up Mike Dobkowski, power hitting lefty.
Dobkowski 1 for 4 last night with a double and a run scored.
And a miss.
Very young guy, was in the league last year, ended up having a grand slam in the final game. I believe it was the final game. We're not exactly sure when it was, but a lot of power in his bat. Very young guy.
That one missed low, 1-1. Towards the end of the season, it was a dramatic comeback attempt from the Rebels that I think ultimately came up short, but Dobkowski did hit a long grand slam to center.
367 down to center.
Lined foul down the third baseline.
322 to right. 381 out in left center. Not sure left field exact dimensions because bit of a blind spot for us, but
322 down the line and left. 322 down the line and right. 367 to dead center here at Rebel Park. Misses high. Power alleys and right center is your most friendly home run area here. It's only 345 to the captain center. Left center, the opposite, very unfriendly, coming in at 381 feet. And it actually gets a little bit deeper than that out by the. Definitely favors power lefties versus power righties, although down the line is doable. Right?
Yeah, every now and again you'll see something new.
On Dobkowski.
But not super often at all.
Misses low. Rebels have their first base runner of the year here at Rebel Park on the clock.
Third baseman from Oklahoma City University.
Trotted down to first.
Jack Johnson.
Brings up Jack Johnson, the third baseman tonight for the Rebels.
Dobkowski did a good job keeping that count. That's Mike Dobkowski. His brother John also in the lineup. Jack Johnson did play in last night's game. He was 1 for 4 with a double. So exact same stats basically as Mike Dobkowski. Johnson playing over at third base tonight for the Rebels. Next pitch from Jordan Bright, swung on and missed, quickly 0-2 on Jack Johnson. Dobkowski's still over at first. Not too big of a lead out there.
Don't think Dobkowski is a threat to run, either Dobkowski. More power than speed.
100%.
0-2, swung on a miss, was in the dirt. Tagged out at the plate. That'll be a K2 unassisted. Third out of the inning. Rebels do not score after 1. Waynesboro 1. Newmarket nothing. We'll be back at the top of the second in just a moment. And And Spencer Williams has completed his warm-up pitches. We're ready to go back to action with Kaiser Harrington stepping in for the Generals.
Kaiser Harrington 2 for 4 in 2 games with a run scored.
First pitch misses up and away, ball 1. Pretty good crowd here tonight. Home stands, I would say, are 90% full. Not a huge
True.
visiting crowd.
Waynesboro, quite a bit of a drive from here.
Probably about an hour south down Interstate 81. Then with a little bit of a jaunt off to the east. Called strike, 2-1. For those of you not familiar with Rebel Park, there are bleachers down the first base and third base line. Rebels dugout is down the third base side. That one misses for ball 3. Directly behind home plate, there is a reserved seating section with fold-down Major League Stadium-style seats. Ball 4 misses just high. Didn't miss by a lot. Certainly a competitive pitch by Williams. Down the third base line, past the Rebels dugout, there is a shelter where some people choose to take in the game. And beyond the left field fence is kind of the tailgate area here at Rebel Park. See quite a few vehicles parked out there, people sitting, watching the game in the back of their trucks or setting up lawn chairs. Is just beyond the Rebels bullpen.
Jackson
So runner on first.
1 for 3 in 2 games.
Called strike to Matt Murphy. First baseman for the Generals. Waynesboro bullpen is just beyond the right field foul pole. Runner is off. Called strike once again, no throw. 0-2, but runner in scoring position with nobody out.
It's 3 stolen bases so far on the night for the Generals.
This is just outside. Good pitch. Didn't get the chase or the call, though. Special for tonight, down the left field line, we have Sugar Creek Ice Cream in the house, selling some delicious ice cream. We also have pre-made cups available in the souvenir stand for all Rebel home games. Curve stays up, 2-2.
Williams couldn't get the chase on that pitch. Didn't break too much. As Andrew said, stayed a little high.
Two, down and away, ball 3. Williams having a little bit of trouble with his command early, I would say.
A lot of these counts have been full so far tonight. Still early in the season. Not sure when the last time Williams pitched was, but has time to lock in.
That's ball 4. 2 on, nobody out, and that's going to bring Morgan Saylor, the Rebel pitching coach, out for a mound visit, and looks like it'll bring the whole infield in for a visit. This is Coach Saylor's first year with the Rebels as a coach. He is a longtime host family. All the Rebels players live with hosts in the community. Not sure which players are with the Sailors this year, but they tend to have a Pittsburgh influence, being big Pittsburgh Pirate fans. Surrounded by Pirates fans. I have 2 interns on either side of me that are also Pirates fans.
Really? Oh. I didn't know. 1.
That mound visit breaks up. We're ready for some more action here. Gonna be
Jake Morgan.
bunt down the third baseline. First baseman not covering the bag. That's gonna be a hit.
Infield single for Jake Morgan. Not exactly what you want to see, but if you're the Rebels.
Made a first game mistake. Started scoring this inning on the wrong line, Hannah.
I was going to say, I was like,
That threw me off there for a second.
Gotta get into the groove. Seth Buchanan up to the plate. First pitch, a called strike. Ball looked a little high to me, but umpire said it's a strike. Bases loaded, no outs for the Generals. Next pitch, inside and low. Buchanan with a single and a run scored over in the first inning. So 1-1 count. Harrington on third, Pate on second, and Morgan on first. That pitch was called a ball, 2-1.
All right, I'm all caught up now. Thanks for covering for me.
Of course.
Lot going on up here sometimes.
Absolutely.
Nice curve in for strike 2. Spencer got on top of that one, got some nice drop into the zone. Bases juiced though, nobody out. Top of the second. Pop fly down the right field line. That one's going to be trouble.
It's gonna drop.
It's down. 1 run in. Play at the plate. He is safe. It's going to be a 2 RBI single for Buchanan.
Close play at the plate. Matt Murphy over at first absolutely lasered that into home. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Charlie Shepard coming out. We'll get the pitcher as soon as we can, and we'll let you all know.
New pitcher for the Rebels, number 5, Jake Oguin Pacheco. We had a bit of a scramble. I think he just arrived in town today. Some of us didn't know he was here. Bunt attempt. Throw down to second. Gets into the outfield. Runners are going to move up 90 base apiece. So Green attempted the bunt, missed it. Dobkowski tried to throw behind Morgan at second base and throws it into left field. That's going to be his second throwing error of the game. And the Generals have 2 runners in scoring position. That one's popped up down the left field line. It's out of our view and off the pavilion, out of play. 0-2.
I'm scrambling right now as well.
The first game, Hannah, and
Oh,
it
so
hits
much
us
action.
every year.
So much action, I don't know what's going on. Williams responsible for the runners on second and third right now.
0-2, nobody out. Popped up, out of play, back towards us. It is possible for foul balls to make their way into the press box, but it's a rare occasion. It requires a bounce off the pavement in front of us. Another 0-2 pitch. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Looks the runner back at third. Goes over to first. They've got the runner hung
caught up.
between second and third, running him towards third, which that's a good thing because both runners are going to be on the same base. Now they're going home with it. Get the runner at home. So Green is going to be out 1-3. Morgan is going to be out. That's 1, 3, 4, 2. For the second out. And Buchanan still on second. So 2 outs, Buchanan on second. 0-1 count on Daniel Smith, the right fielder.
I think I'm just going to have to catch up.
That
in
was a
between
bit of a
innings.
scramble there.
Yeah.
A lot going on that play. Put you back to the close-up on the batter. Foul ball down the right field line. If you're not familiar with Rebel Park, there's about 60 and gradually increasing to about 100 feet of area before you get to some neighborhood backyards down the right field line. Often you'll see kids chasing foul balls, all foul balls free to keep at Rebel Park. That one's Sky down the left field line, third baseman over. Leaping at the wall, looks like it just is out of reach. We can see a little bit more down the lines than you can on the camera, but we are cut off down the left field line by the roof of the Rebels dugout. So we'll do our best to fill you in on anything that happens in those corners. But our camera is just somewhat limited in what we can show you. Still 0-2. Runner going to third. No throw again. Ball 1. Buchanan picks up the stolen base. One-two count. Lined foul down the left field line.
Yeah, I'm all over the place right now. As long as I get the runs right, that's good enough for now.
Check swing, no swing, says the first base umpire. 2-2 on Daniel Smith.
Yeah, we apologize for the buffering. Our Wi-Fi's actually out right now.
Called strike 3. Great job from Olgun. Pacheco comes in with the bases loaded. Gets out of it without allowing a run. Waynesboro does score 2 runs before that happened and takes a 3-0 lead headed to the bottom of the second. We're going to take a break and we'll be back in just a moment.
Okay, they said
We are back for the bottom of the second. We apologize for the buffering that is going on. We've had ongoing issues with the internet this week. I think collectively there's been about 10 hours of IT personnel in the press box working on it, and we haven't come to a perfect solution yet, but we do anticipate that will be better on Wednesday for the second Rebel game. So just bear with us tonight, and we will do our best to get that improved. Schmidley is hit by the pitch on his second pitch of his at bat, and will track down to first. Rebels have a leadoff man on. So again, we apologize for the buffering. Hopefully it will hang in there, and you can kind of follow along. We are actively working on that and have been for about the past week. That one's lined into the right center field gap. Right fielder is over and hauls it in. Throws coming into first. Not in time.
That was hard hit out to right center by Matt Murphy.
From Enterprise State Junior College, catcher number 13, John Dobkowski.
John Dobkowski, brother to Mike, now batting. First pitch misses inside. Wasn't a bad pitch by any means.
John Dobkowski's first game this season in the Valley League.
Ground ball, weakly hit to shortstop right up the middle. Tough play, and he puts it in his pocket. That's going to be an infield single for Dobkowski. Schmidley moves up to second on the play.
Bring up shortstop from Shippensburg University, number 11, Newcomer.
Brings up Caleb Newcomer, the shortstop. 2 on, only 1 out for the Rebels.
Newcomer pinch hit last night.
First pitch is a ball low.
0 for 1 in that appearance.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. He is going to go to first for the out. That'll be a 1-3 put out. For the second out of the inning, both runners advance.
Schmidley making his way over to third.
Batting to the plate from Frederick.
Dobkowski over to second.
Fielder, number 29, Baker.
Brings up Cameron Baker, the right fielder.
I believe Baker just got in town today. Maybe yesterday. Maybe a couple days ago. So actually not anytime he's been here, but first action so far this season.
First pitch to him is a ball. Chance to drive in some runs here. Second pitch also misses outside. Jonathan Mallow waiting on it. Did a double take. For some reason I thought Mallow was number 2, but he's...
I believe it was 2 last season, but we're number 12 now.
That threw me off. Number 2 last season, number 12 this season.
Nice pitch.
2-0 is in for a called strike. Fouled off down the right field line. 2-2.
Two outs, 2 runners on here for the Rebels in the bottom of the second inning. Waynesboro with a 3-0 lead.
Ground ball foul down the third baseline. If you're having trouble with the stream, we do apologize. There are some other options to follow along with the game. You can go to the live scoreboard on the Valley League website. It is a bit tricky to get that pulled up correctly, but if you dig around, I promise it's there. You can also follow the Rebels on Twitter or X. We have an intern running around taking pictures and posting updates regularly throughout the game. Up and away, 3-2. Full count pitch to Cameron Baker. The dirt, ball 4. He's going to trot on down to first base. Bases are full of Rebels.
It's the second walk of the night issued by Jordan Bright. First one was over in the first inning, and he's hit a batter.
Potomac State College, number 12, Jonathan.
Only at 32 pitches so far, so decently effective throughout these 2 innings. Schmidley on third, Dobkowski on second, John Dobkowski on second, and Cameron Baker over on first.
Mallow fouls the first pitch straight back.
Mallow had a ground out over to shortstop in his first at-bat tonight.
Valley League Hall of Famer Bobby Weiss in attendance. He is the manager of the Harrisonburg Turks. They played early, and he's here. Mallow, ground ball to first. He's hustling down the line. He beats it out. First baseman, perhaps a little bit lackadaisical, and Mallow hustling hard out of the box. He beats it out at first base. That'll be a single and an RBI for Mallow.
Mallow's third RBI in 2 games. Putting the Rebels on the board here. Closes the gap a little bit, 3-1. Rebels' second hit of the night coming from Mallow.
Logan Kelly steps in.
Kelly with a pop out over to third in the first.
Swing and a miss, strike 1.
John Dobkowski on third now. Cameron Baker on second, and Jonathan Mallow on first. Mike Dobkowski waiting on deck.
Hard foul to the netting just beside the Generals dugout. 0-2 on Kelly. Base is still full of Rebels. Chance to tie or to even take the lead here with the extra base hit. Line drive up the middle. That's going to score 1. Second runner coming around. Throw comes all the way into the plate. That's going to allow runners to move to third and second. Dobkowski scores. Baker scores.
Nice hit there by Logan Kelly, nearly
Mallow
bases
to
clearing.
third. Kelly to second. That'll be a single for Kelly and advances on the throw.
Mike Dobkowski.
2 RBIs. Brings up Mike Dobkowski.
Rebels tie this game up 3-3 here in the bottom of the second. Mike Dobkowski at the plate.
Ball to second, slowly hit. He's hustling down the line. Not gonna beat that one out. That is 4-3 for the third out of the inning, but the Rebel push across 3 runs after 2 complete here in Newmarket is 3-3. We'll be back in just a minute for the third inning.
Parker White up to bat. First pitch from Olguin Pacheco is outside for ball one. Hank Vandermeer on deck for the Generals, and that ball is hit hard into right field, over the fence. That is a home run for Parker White. Slammed out into right center, right over the fence. First home run of the night coming from Parker White. Heard that one right off the bat. Puts the Generals in the board 4-3.
The designated hitter for
Was not
34.
prepared for that, was not looking up, but hard hit ball out there. Probably what? 340-ish? Taking a lucky guess. First
That
pitch,
one was pretty apparent that it was gone off the bat, I would say.
You
As
could hear
somebody
it.
who has watched hundreds of games at this park.
1-0 count on Hank Vandermeer. Next pitch, just missed. 2 balls, no strikes.
Rebel, not a super home run friendly park. Rates towards the bottom of the Valley League in park factor.
That ball's hit over to first base. Matt Murphy takes it for the 3 unassisted and out number 1 here in the top of the third. Anthony Clavette
Third baseman number
Up to the
22,
bat.
Anthony.
up to bat now. So 1 out, no runners on. Jake Olguin Pacheco in. Next pitch from Pacheco, swung on and missed. Big swing there from Clavette.
Sun starting to set here in Newmarket. That golden hour.
Next pitch low for ball 1. 1-1 count. Kaiser Harrington waiting on deck for the Generals. Next pitch just misses. Rebels fans not happy about that one. A little bit on the outside corner, but could have seen that going either way.
Like home plate ump has been pretty
Consistent.
consistent and solid.
That ball hits softly over to shortstop. Nice job charging off the glove of the first baseman. It's a newcomer making the throw over. Not sure who that error is going to be on.
Gonna give him a hit on that one.
Oh, it'll actually be a hit. I
Tough
lied.
play for the shortstop. Soft grounder, charged it, fired it across. Throw was a bit low, but certainly was beyond an ordinary effort.
Great effort by newcomer. That pitch, fastball low for ball 1. Luckily, we have the advantage of having the official scorekeepers up here in the booth with us. So we often know what it's going to be called.
Sometimes after a bit of a debate and or
Yeah.
delay, you can say that as one of the.
Runner goes, throwdown's good, and under the tag is Clavette. Nice throw there by John Dobkowski behind the plate for the Rebels. 2-0 count now on Kaiser Harrington. Or 1-1 actually. 1-1 count, umpire just signaled to us. Getting everything figured out. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. The Clavette over on second after the stolen base. Waynesboro's been running a lot tonight. Not sure if that was in the cards in their previous games, but they've had no issue here so far tonight. Decent lead for Clavette and another swing and a miss. Harrington goes down swinging for out number 2 of the inning. Runner still out on second, and here's Jackson Pate stepping up to the plate. A walk and a run scored in the second inning.
Second baseman number 6, Jackson.
Generals with a 4-3 lead. Next pitch from Pacheco. Fastball looked good to me. Must have been a little low. 1-0. Umpire has been pretty consistent, but Waynesboro players still aren't super happy with the calls tonight. But as long as they're consistent, you won't hear much complaining from us. 1-0 pitch from Pacheco. In for a strike right down the middle, fastball. 1-1. Two outs, runner on second. A ball fouled off. Over to the left side, 1-2.
Going Pacheco 1 strike away from getting out of the inning.
Watching the runner over on second, 1-2 pitch. Hit into left field and foul territory. Thankfully, a little bit of our blind spot, but that's just a long foul ball over out by the pavilion, out in left field. Count will stay 1-2. Next pitch, swung on and missed, so 2 strikeouts to get Harrington and Pate. The Generals get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base in the top of the third. We'll go into the bottom of the third. Generals lead 4-3. We apologize, trying everything we can to get this going. Might have to be something that'll get fixed hopefully later this week as soon as we can. Jack Johnson, Ike Schmidley, and Matt Murphy will be up to the plate for the Rebels here in the bottom of the third. First pitch from Jordan Bright still out there, called a ball.
Yeah, we've had our internet service provider out here for 4 or 5 hours one day this week.
That ball's hard hit out into right field. Right fielder's going back and caught at the warning track. Daniel Smith with the catch out there. Nice piece of hitting though from Johnson. Just a long F9 though at the warning track for out number 1. Ike Schmidley up to the plate now. Hit by a pitch over in the second inning and scored a run. Schmidley out of JMU. Kind of a local boy. I don't know where he's actually from, but playing over in Harrisonburg. Bunt hit over to the third baseman. Didn't stay down, but Schmidley has a lot of speed. He's actually going to make his way over to second as the ball gets away from the first baseman. Going to be a hit and an error. That's an error on somebody. We're going to get it sorted out. But
An error, we believe, on the shortstop.
So a single and an E6. Had that beat out over at first. So 1 out, a runner on second. That pitch outside for ball 1. Matt Murphy up at the plate.
Ridley had a good bunt down the third baseline, but like kind of just pushed past the pitcher in between short and third. A good kind of Bermuda Triangle there.
1-0 pitch, hit into center field. That's hit pretty hard. It might get down, but it stays in the air for James Griffin. Or James Green, excuse me. Out in center.
Up John Dobkowski. He had an infield single back in
From
the
Enterprise
second.
State Junior College, catcher number 13, John Dobkowski.
John Dobkowski up now. A single and a run scored. Curveball stays high for ball 1. 2 outs, a runner on second. Want to push this runner across the plate so far if you're the Rebels. Nice moment with runner in scoring position opportunity. Next pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a called strike, 1-1. Right, watching the runner on second. Schmidley doesn't have too big of a lead. Nobody holding him on. That ball is hit over to the shortstop and throw over off the base, but first baseman White is able to tag him for the 6-3. And out number 3, Rebels get no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. Jake Morgan, the number 9 batter, stepping up to the plate here in the top of the 4th for the Generals. Olguin Pacheco still out there. Big swing and a miss from Morgan. Morgan with a single in the 2nd inning. So 0-1 count on him.
Was eventually retired on after getting caught in a rundown.
Nice pitch there. 0-2 quickly. Oh-2 pitch, outside and low, trying to get him to swing there, but Morgan not taking that. 1-2.
Good chase pitch, just didn't get the chase.
That ball's hit softly over to first base. Matt Murphy saying he has it. Close play, but 3 unassisted for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. Pretty close. Murphy called for it. Said that he had it, but definitely a little closer than you would have thought. Seth Buchanan stepping up to the plate now. 2 for 2 so far tonight with 2 singles and a run scored. Bunt, pulls back. Pitch is called a ball, 1-0. Next pitch, nice pitch, in for a called strike. 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Same exact location, 1-2 now on Seth Buchanan. Olguin Pacheco.
Doing good work.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Nice location so far. Ball's fouled off over to the left. 1-2. Base is empty, 1 out here for the Generals in the top of the 4th. Generals have played it at least a run in each inning thus far. 2-2 now.
That one got some cries from the crowd, but I think it was outside. Plate's been pretty solid with umpiring so far.
Next pitch, fouled back right over the press box. Sometimes you can hear it hit the roof. It's a nice little surprise. 2-2. James Green waiting on deck for the Generals. That pitch a little high and outside. So Buchanan has worked this count full now against Olguin Pacheco.
A lot of deep counts throughout this game. Spencer Williams, the Rebel starter, had some trouble.
That ball is hit hard out into center field. Back to the warning track. Looks like it'll stay in, and thankfully Logan Kelly is out there. That was a hard hit ball. Probably would have been out at nearly any other part of the park, especially down one of the lines, but luckily hit right out to left center where you have to get over that wall and hit it about over 370. So hard hit ball, but just a long F8. 4 out number 2. James Green up to the plate now, 0 for 2 so far tonight.
Center fielder number 33, James Green.
2 outs, nobody on. First pitch, high for a ball.
Almost no wind at Rebel right now.
That ball is hard hit out into left field. Left fielder's going back, and that is off the wall. That is Schmidley out and left. That's going to be a stand-up double easily for James Green, his first hit of the night. Nice piece of hitting there from Green. And the Generals have a base runner in scoring position. Very hard hit. Wasn't much of a chance for Ike Schmidley to get out there and get it.
Right fielder number 4.
Quite a long run for him. Here's Daniel Smith up to the plate now. 0 for 1 and a walk so far tonight. First pitch, hit hard down right field line. Thankfully foul. That'll be a strike on Daniel Smith. Green out on second. Next pitch, inside, fastball. 1-1. Mallow keeping the runner over on second. Nice placement. That was a nice pitch.
Got a shake of the head from Smith. It looked like that one might have been a little bit out to me, but
Umpire's
called a
been
strike,
calling
so
that
it's a
tonight.
strike.
Yeah. 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Nice curveball. Hit just foul down the third baseline. Another foot over to the right, and it would have been fair and probably some trouble.
yep, that was about 8 inches from being a double down the line, but no harm, no foul. You're looking at it from the Rebels' perspective.
1-2 on Daniel Smith. Next pitch, hit over to the right. First base coach nearly has a hold of it, but not quite. But a nice throw back over to the Rebels dugout. Two outs, runner on second. 1-2 pitch. Hit foul. So Green's still behind in this count, but working hard. Definitely making Jake Olguin Pacheco work for it. One-two pitch from Pacheco. Fouled off once again. I'm not counting the foul balls, but
Got that as 4 in a row.
4, I was going to say, that's probably a lot. 5 total. The more you know. You can go check Game Live Baseball, as we've mentioned. Live scoreboard. That pitch inside. Lepkowski juggles it a bit, but runner didn't even thought about going, but
Smith
nothing
having a
too
great
serious.
at bat. He's fighting up there.
Pacheco
warn
at
you if
50
you-
pitches.
If you check the game live, it is way ahead of where you're going to be with the buffering. The stream is quite a bit behind.
That ball's outside. So Green has worked this count full, or excuse me, Smith has worked this count full. Apologizing. Think I've been saying that wrong for half of this at bat. And next pitch is inside, so after quite a long at bat, Smith gets on base, drawing a walk.
First baseman number 14, Parker White.
Parker White coming up to the plate now. Big home run last inning to lead off the third.
No doubter to right.
First pitch, nice pitch down the middle. 0-1.
Go back one more time and just give Smith a lot of credit for fouling off all those pitches and earning a walk. Fantastic at bat.
Next pitch outside. That seems to be a lot of where Pacheco's missing so far tonight. A lot of those low and outside pitches. White 2 RBIs so far tonight, a sacrifice fly and that home run. 1-1 pitch. Hit hard over to first base. Juggled a bit by Matt Murphy, but the throw over covered by Pacheco. 1-3 putout. For out number 3. Generals get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. Going into the bottom of the 4th, Generals lead 4-3.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors.
That
2
was-
runs left on Caleb, newcomer.
Uniforms are so similar, I have to keep myself in check. I know
It's a
who's
bit-
coming up.
It is a bit confusing.
Caleb Newcomer up to the plate. Number 8 batter for the Rebels. Cameron Baker on deck. Jonathan Mallow in the hole. 8, 9, and 1 batters. Jordan Bright still on the mound, having a good game for the Generals. That ball swung on and missed. 0-1 so far tonight for Newcomer.
Didn't run into this uniform issue last year as the Rebels and Generals did not play. Last year there was no interdivisional play in the Valley, so saw the North teams a lot and didn't see any of the South.
Yeah, I'm glad we're seeing him again. 2 games, 1 home and 1 away. That's a ball, by the way, 1-1 count.
It was almost unanimous, I think, across the league that everybody wanted to get a little more variety. So
Yeah. Got very sick of seeing the same guys over and over. That pitch is high for a ball, 2-1. Nice to play everybody just once. Or twice, I guess. But, you know.
playing 12 games out of the division. Still leaves 30 in the division, but breaks it up a little bit.
That pitch, high and outside, 3-1. Pitch from Bright, hit over to third base, under the glove of the third baseman, and Newcomer will make it over to first. We're going to give him a hit on that. That'll be a single for Caleb Newcomer.
Yeah, no doubt would have beat that out even if it was fielded.
Right fielder from Frederick Community College,
Still,
number 29.
first home game, getting to know these players, but he was booking it down the line, has some good speed. Slow chopper to third that eventually went under the glove, but only chance on that was probably a bare hand.
Rebels have a runner on here with no outs. That pitch is low, 1-0 on Cameron Baker.
If Bright might be tiring a little bit, getting deeper into this game.
Let's go look at his pitch count while we're around. Only at 52 pitches. That ball's fouled off to the right. Make it 53. 1-1 count.
In Valley, sometimes hard to know if these players were getting stretched out during the spring season. A lot of times you get pitchers that didn't throw much, so even 53 pitches could wear them out. Not a big lead over at first.
Bright
Long
taking his
pause.
time. Yeah.
Very long pause.
Called it a pitch violation on Jordan Bright, so that'll be a ball, 2-1. I must say that's,
That was a very long pause.
yeah. I don't see that happen very often. Very rarely, I also feel, in the Valley League. Honestly, didn't even know people were keeping track of it. That pitch super high and inside.
Definitely not like the major leagues, and I think they're probably a little bit more lenient, but it is something that the umpires are paying attention to. Especially with
Fair
the
enough.
3-man crew that the Valley has gone to this season.
3-1. That ball is hit over into the grass right behind shortstop for a P6. Sounded like it was hard hit, but ended up just being popped up right behind the dirt.
That, Hannah, was the sound of
Yeah.
a broken bat.
True.
That
I'll have to get a
is
new one early.
only good for the fireplace.
College, number 12, Jonathan.
You can gift it to one of the kids or something.
Or a gift to one of the many kids in attendance, or maybe John the intern.
Newcomer still over on first. Baker being the first out. Here's Jonathan Mallow, 1 for 2 with an RBI. First pitch, a ball to him.
Players adjusting to wood bats. Some of them, it might be their first time ever getting competitive at bats with a wooden bat.
One out, a runner on, 1-0 pitch. Foul directly back, 1-1.
Newcomer not taking a huge lead over at first, but he's looking a little twitchy to me, like he might be thinking about wiping a bag here.
One pitch. In the dirt, gets away from Dobkowski. Or, sorry, that's not Dobkowski. Here I am mixing up our uniforms. That's Morgan behind the plate. Runner will make it over to second. They look so similar, I can't tell the difference.
Could go down as a wild pitch.
2-1 count, wild pitch advances Newcomer. That ball is hit over to shortstop, into the glove. Nice catch there by Seth Buchanan. Kept the runner over on second. Good on Newcomer for not coming out anymore. Looked like that might have dropped, but he ended up making it right there. Out number 2, here's Logan Kelly, 1 for 2.
15, Logan.
Something about a reset's being said. I don't know if everybody has as good of ears as me, but I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that's definitely what they were talking about. Not sure. Maybe that pitch clock had reset. They're long pause.
First pitch outside. Yeah, it looks like Bright's losing a bit of his command here. Not as sharp as he was in the first few innings, getting a little more fuller counts.
Definitely being very deliberate in between pitches, taking his time.
Absolutely, and May as well. Close game here, down 4-3. Rebels are down 4-3. They're up 4-3. 1-1. Getting to that part of the night.
Kelly with an RBI chance here could bring the Rebels back to even with Waynesboro.
1-1, swung on and missed. Ball low and outside. Runner might be getting caught up. Throw a little bit offline. Second baseman drug off the base a little bit, but pretty nice. And Newcomer back in safely, so 1-2. Two outs. Newcomer out on second with some speed. Next pitch from Bright, swung on and missed. So Bright gets out of this inning. He's pitched 4 complete. Might be his last inning of work. We're not sure yet, but Rebels get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base in the bottom of the 4th. Through 4, the Generals lead 4-3. First pitch to Hank Vandermeer. Called a ball for ball 1. Pacheco at 56 pitches.
Vandermeer has a walk and a ground out to first.
That pitch is inside 2-0. Not sure how much longer we'll see Pacheco out here.
There is action down in the Rebel bullpen.
That ball hit up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop. That was a great play by Newcomer. Right up the middle, ended up getting there, charging, and making the quick throw over to first for a 6-3.
You can tell that Newcomer
Number
is a
22.
bit of a defensive wizard out there already. I mean, very
Absolutely.
quick twitch, quick movements.
Yeah, a lot of speed out there by Vandermeer, but the throw over was very good and very accurate. First pitch to Anthony Clavette is a strike. So 0-1. Next pitch from Pacheco's hit hard out into left field. Schmidley's right there for the L7. Don't mean to jinx it, but 2 pretty quick at-bats in a moment when you need Pacheco to do that.
Left fielder number 9. Kaiser Harrington.
It's 2 outs, nobody on base for the Generals here in the top of the 5th. Here's Kaiser Harrington.
Got a walk and a strikeout so far tonight.
First pitch, a called strike. Pacheco's been getting that pitch called all night. Another called strike, quickly 0-2.
Dotted the outside card of the plate with that one. Nice looking pitch.
And next pitch, outside ball gets away from Dobkowski, but no problem because nobody's on base. 1-2.
Like Ethan Henry might be loosening up down in the bullpen.
Ball's fouled back. Count holds 1-2.
Not actively throwing yet, but he's been up, moving around, stretching, and was tossing into a net a little bit.
That pitch low and inside, 2-2. This Generals team has been very patient tonight at the plate, for the most part. 2-2 pitch, hit over to second base. Mallow has it, and a nice throw over to first for the 4-3 putout. And out number 3, Generals go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base.
On the bottom left of your screen there, you might see the remnants of the Dash for Cash, a long-time tradition here at Rebel Park. 2 buckets, one filled with money, one empty. Contestants get 30 seconds to transfer as much money from one bucket to the other using only a shovel. Get to keep their winnings. Good night, you might take home $80, $90.
New pitcher on
And
the
even on a bad night, you're going home with enough to pay for gas. New pitcher on for Waynesboro, number 24.
Cole Turner, apparently. It appears I've lost my roster, so
It's a right-handed pitcher. We'll get you some more info on him after we go.
roster has been found.
No spring training in the Valley League. We're working out the kinks live during Game 1.
Absolutely. This
Had
is
one-
Cole Turner, by
One
the
or
way.
two test streams building up to this, but all new equipment for us, new cameras, new microphones, so a little bit of a learning curve. Gonna have Mike Dobkowski leading off the Rebels, bottom of the 5th. Powerful left-handed batter.
Leading off for the Rebels from Enterprise State Junior College, designated hitter number 18, Mike.
Dobkowski at the plate, Jack Johnson on deck, and Ike Schmidley in the hole. So,
Dobkowski was a rare mid-season transition last year from wasn't getting playing time in Woodstock, came to Newmarket at the end of the season, and had a very good stretch to finish the year with Newmarket. Got the invite back this.
ball outside, 1-1. Cole Turner, 6'1", 220-pound right-handed senior from Embry-Riddle University. Right pitch to complete. 4 innings. Big swing and a miss, 1-2.
Bright will not be eligible for the win despite parting with a 1-run lead, not complete 5 innings.
1-2 pitch to Mike Dobkowski, hit over the head of the pitcher, under the glove of the shortstop, and Dobkowski's sliding into first. Fell, yeah.
And
Not sure how that's going to be scored.
give
So.
an error to the shortstop on that one.
That'll bring up the third baseman from
E6, second error of the night for the Generals. Here's Jack Johnson, 0 for 2.
Wasn't a super easy play as he did range a good bit, but still had time to make the throw and was unable to come up with.
Called strike on Jack Johnson. Runner over on first. Mike Dobkowski, very tall guy. That pitch was low, 1-1, 6'5" out there. One pitch from Cole Turner, swung on and missed. That ball nearly in the dirt, 1-2. Got Johnson chasing there. No outs. Mike Dobkowski over on first, 1-2 pitch. Cole Turner taking his time on this one. He delivers and swung on and missed. For out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
from James Madison University. Left fielder number 9.
General's very loud. Can't tell if that's from the dugout. Probably from the dugout. Maybe the bullpen? Somewhere around there.
Despite the pretty big crowd, it's a little bit flat feeling in here right now. Not a lot of buzz. And
Pretty close game, but throw
Maybe
over to first.
it's a
Dobkowski's
little bit
back.
chilly. That could be affecting some people. The crowd has thinned already, even only being in the bottom of the 5th.
Next pitch from Turner. Called strike. 0-1. Not a huge lead for Dobkowski over on first. Next pitch from Turner. Hit over the head of the shortstop. That'll go into center field, and Dobkowski is going to make his way to third, bobbled out in center field. That'll be a single for Ike Schmidley. Runners on first and third now. Dobkowski over on third. Schmidley on first. Matt Murphy stepping up to the plate.
From Salem Community College, first baseman number 6, Matt Murphy.
Matt Murphy, first pitch to him is high for a ball. Yeah, internet is pretty bad tonight, but hopefully we'll get it fixed. So 1-0 pitch, also high, 2 balls, no strikes on Matt Murphy. Rebels getting a little something going here with only 1 out, runners on first and third.
Market's in a pretty rural area, town of only around 2,000, but we do normally have decent internet. We have a gigabit connection up here, but unfortunately that internet is not working properly, so we're going off of our backup source, which left us where we're at. I don't have much more to say than that. I actually stole my own home internet hotspot to even be able to go live tonight, but we're definitely going to be in better shape on
3-0 pitch, called strike on the outside corner. Murphy not super happy about that. Been some controversial calls over there all night, so. Throw over to first. Ike Schmidley back in safely. Three-one count, 1 out. Another throw over to first. General's bullpen very loud.
Schmidley was back in standing despite having a big lead. I think he's going here.
Next pitch, swung on and missed. So Cole Turner coming back in this at-bat. Now a full count on Matt Murphy. John Dobkowski waiting on deck. 1 out, runners on corners. Big opportunity here for the Rebels. Runner goes. That ball is popped into center field. Very shallow center. And runner's going to tag. Throw in's pretty decent, but Rebels score on that. Throw over to second. Tag is not placed down by the shortstop. That'll be a sacrifice fly for Matt Murphy over into center field. Rebels tie this game up. And Ike Schmidley makes his way over to second base.
From Enterprise State Junior College, catcher number 13, John Dobkowski.
Here's John Dobkowski.
Schmidley doing some sprints on that one, was stealing second, ran back to first, and then ran back to second.
First pitch is fouled off, so in there for a strike. 0-1 on John Dobkowski. Four game now here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Next pitch nearly gets away from the catcher. He juggles it a little bit, but runner stays on second. That's Schmidley out on second. John Dobkowski, 1-1 count on him. Next pitch. Low for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position for the Rebels. Already tied this game up here in the bottom of the 5th. Looking to get a little lead here for the first time in this game. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cole Turner into pitch. Rebels didn't really hit much off of Jordan Bright, but a little bit of success coming now with Cole Turner into pitch for the Generals. 3-1, hit right over to shortstop, throw over is low, and he beat it out. That's a single for John Dobkowski, a lot of speed out there. We say he would have made it anyway, so Ike Schmidley over to third.
Number 11.
John Dobkowski over to first.
Summer.
His second hit of the night, both singles. And they're going to go out there to talk to Cole Turner. Coach for the Generals is Rebels have runners on corners. Caleb Newcomer stepping up to the plate now. Another big opportunity here for the Rebels. Trying to gain a lead. Haven't led in this game yet. Haven't led this season yet, I don't believe.
Public address announcer having some fun with the visit, playing some audio that may or may not be happening out there. Meeting of the minds breaks up out at the pitcher's mound, and we're ready for some more action.
Coach Dunn talking to Cole Turner out there. He'll face Newcomer. Single so far tonight, and a ground out. So 2 outs, runners on corners again. We've seen this before. That pitch outside, 1-0. Turner having a little trouble locating his pitches. Still early in the season. More than likely his first appearance. I don't have the stats up right now, but I would imagine. And that one hits him. That looked like it hurt. Right on the forearm? I don't know where that was, but it looked painful. Hit by pitch, nonetheless, to load up the bases. Dobkowski making his way over to second. Schmidley still on third. So bases loaded now for the number 9 batter, Cameron Baker.
Mike would be the one to.
2 outs. That ball hit hard over near Waynesboro's dugout.
Now back to the Rebels from Frederick Community College. Fielder number 29. Cameron Baker.
0-1 on Baker. And I was correct. This is Turner's first appearance in the league. Next pitch, a called strike, so 0-2 on Baker.
He says full of Rebels, chance to take the lead.
0-2 pitch inside. Baker moved out of the way a little bit, 1-2. 3 runners on, big opportunity here with 2 outs. One-two pitch from Turner. In the dirt, gets away. Backstop actually sends everybody squirming back. I don't know why squirming was the word I choose to use there. But it ended up being okay for the Generals. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, to be fair, the runner out at second did look a little squirmy to be caught that far off the base.
He was who I was looking at. Ah.
Squirrely?
Squirrely. All of the above. Squirming, squirrely.
2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
That ball hit hard down in foul territory. 2-2.
Let's give a big hand to our bad boy tonight, Bryce Jones.
Bat boy Bryce Jones, son of President Mike Jones, hamming it up for the crowd down there. Getting a little cheer. Crowd's still a little flat for a tight game.
True. And did they say he went? They said yes. Rebels get 1 on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 3 runners left on base. Through 5 complete innings, this game is tied up at 4.
2 hits, 1 error.
Number 37 in the pinch hit for the Generals. We're not seeing him on the roster, so. And he's not in point streak either, so we have no clue who this guy is. He hits the ball out to second base, though. Throw over from Mallow's good. 4-3 put out.
Trying to do some work behind the scenes to get an ID on the player that just grounded out. We'll let you know as soon as we have it.
He's in for Jackson Pate, though, here in the 6th. Next pitch is a strike on Jake Morgan. A single tonight for Morgan. 1-2. That ball's fouled back. 0-2. Big swing and a miss. For out number 1. Or, excuse me, out number 2. Getting distracted here. We're trying to figure out who that player was. And here's the leadoff batter for the Generals, Seth Buchanan. He's 2 for 3 so far tonight. 2 singles. Pretty productive night so far for Seth Buchanan. First pitch to Buchanan. Called strike. So Jake Olguin Pacheco really locking in here. Had a really good past 2 innings. Especially gotten into his groove. Next pitch. Called strike, 0-2.
I'd say that stellar outing. He gave up the 1 long home run, but other than that, worked out of a jam when he came into the game and given the Rebels some quality innings.
Absolutely. That pitch outside 1-2. He is at 73 pitches. So imagine this might be his last inning. Or
like
close to it.
There's double-barreled action in the bullpen. So.
And a swing and a miss. So for the 2nd inning in a row, Pacheco sends them down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base in the top of the 6th.
some defensive changes for the Generals. The pinch hitter then left, and they're hearing
Leading off for the number 6, number 12, Jonathan. No!
Jonathan Mallow leading off for the Rebels.
Mallow 1 for 3 with a single, RBI single. First pitch called a ball. New pitcher in for the Generals. It is Thayer Tavermina. 1-1 count. Cole Turner out of this game. Christopher, Game Live Baseball is found over, yeah, we're just having internet issues tonight, and we apologize for that. We've had a lot of people working for the internet, but Game Live Baseball can be found on the Valley League's website. One. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two, actually. Apologize for that. Two pitch. Fouled back. We're currently in the bottom of the 6th inning, no outs.
On pace for a 3-hour ball game tonight. Nice speedy one for you.
Yeah. That pitch just missed. General's not too happy about that call, but 3-2.
I feel like over the years, Valley League games have trended towards being longer as the pitching has become harder to come by and scores have gone up. And with
Full
the
count.
scores,
Swung on and missed.
with the scores going up, length of games has gone up. Not necessarily a super high scoring game tonight, but there's been lots of traffic.
Center fielder number 15, Logan Kelly.
All of that totally anecdotal, not based off of any real stats, just as an observer of many, many seasons of Valley League baseball.
Here's Logan Kelly, pitch inside for ball 1.
But a lot of the changes you see in baseball as a whole trickle down to the Valley. Pitchers not going as long, more pitching changes.
Next pitch, a called strike. So 1-1 on Logan Kelly.
Valley League does observe Major League Baseball's guidelines for pitch limits, so players have mandatory rest periods based on how many pitches they've thrown.
Big swing and a miss, 1-2.
And there is a cap on number of pitches a pitcher can throw. I believe it's a forfeit if that's broken.
Yeah, the Game Live just gives you statistics, by the way. There's no video or anything. But that's foul tip into the glove. Out number 2, Jack Johnson stepping up to the plate now. 4-4 here in the bottom of the 6th. Yeah, you can get there by going to the Valley Baseball League website. I'm actually going to do it now as well. You can go to the Valley Baseball League website, click Live Scoreboard. Make sure to change it to VBL Summer 2025, and then you can find our game at the very end, Waynesboro Generals and Newmarket Rebels. Just click Game Live down there, and that should have something good. Big swing and a miss from Mike Dobkowski. That pitch inside for a ball, 1-1. Jack Johnson on deck.
Dobkowski scored a run after reaching on an error in his last at-bat. Also singled and grounded out.
1-1, hit softly over to first. Murphy has a hold of it. He's going to touch the base. It'll be close, but 3 unassisted for out number 3. Rebels go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base in the bottom of the 6th.
Summary, the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Daniel Smith.
Here's Daniel Smith stepping up to the plate, 0 for 1 with 2 walks. That ball hit out into short center field, and that'll drop down for a bloop base hit out to center field. So quickly 2 singles, back-to-back hits for the Generals, put runners on first and second, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. We'll get back with you as soon as we know who's coming in. Ethan Henry in to pitch for the Rebels. 6 foot, 190-pound sophomore lefty from Oakland University. First pitch outside. 1-0. Coming in here in the top of the 7th. James Green over on second, Daniel Smith on first. Next pitch from Henry, bunted hard down third base. Throw over to first is wild. A run's gonna come in on that. Thankfully, only one run comes in on that. So James Green scores.
That would be a bunt single and then an E5 on the throw, I would say.
So that's White with the single. E5 on the throw. Puts runners on
Pitch hitter
first.
number 1, Alex
Or,
Martin.
excuse me, second and third.
Pinch hitter Alex Martin. In for James Green. I'm mixed up in my spot in the order here.
I think you are. I think he's in for Hank Vandermeer.
I'm way off. That's my bad.
I was like, wait, I just had Green scoring. Okay, first game, getting the Kinks all worked out.
Then that comes tonight, Rob. Started on the
Alex Martin in, a freshman from Xavier University. He's facing Ethan Henry. First pitch, a called strike on Martin. 0-1, that's White over on second, James Green on third. No outs here. Runner on third is Jake Olguin Pacheco's responsibility. 1-1. Runner on second, Ethan Henry's responsibility. Ethan Henry's first game seeing action this season for the Rebels. That pitch is called a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two runners in scoring position for the Generals here in the top of the 7th. Nice location there from Henry. Like a little bit of a curveball, 2-2. Next pitch. Just misses. 3-2 now. So count has worked full. Alex Martin making Henry work here. Get this out. No outs. Runners on second and third. Full count pitch from Henry's fouled off to the right. Three-two pitch from Ethan Henry is high. That'll be ball 4. So Alex Martin gets on base. Bases loaded now. Daniel Smith on third, Parker White on second, and Alex Martin on first.
interesting little baseball factoid for you. You're
Pitch
actually
22,
more likely to score runs with second and third and nobody out than you are with the bases loaded and nobody out. So perhaps setting up the force at home actually.
First pitch hit hard down the right field, but foul territory. 0-1 on Anthony Clavette.
Either situation bad for the Rebels, good if you're a Generals fan, and we have quite a few of you watching tonight.
True, yeah, quite a few of you guys. A 1 pitch from Ethan Henry. Hit over to first base and just past the glove of Matt Murphy. That'll score at least 1 run. 2 runs are coming in. Throw at third. Nice throw in by the right fielder, Baker. But 2 runs will score on that. That'll be a hit for Anthony Clavette.
The fielder number 9, Kaiser Harrington.
Go down as a double. Right down the line.
2 RBI double there for Clavette, his second hit of the night. Generals now lead 7-4. Runners on second and third. It's Clavette on second. Martin on third. Kaiser Harrington stepping up to the plate now. That pitch a little high, 1-0.
Harrington moved to play second base last inning.
Still no outs here in the top of the 7th. Next pitch from Henry. Nice pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Next pitch, called a ball, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Henry trying to limit the damage here. Generals have pulled ahead by 3. 3 runs scored in this inning. Still nobody out. Still 2 runners in scoring position.
2-1 pitch from Henry, fouled back, 2-2.
Strikeout could do wonders for the Rebels here.
Absolutely.
There is action in the bullpen. See a catcher in a squat. Can't make out who the pitcher throwing is just yet, but I'll give you that in just a minute.
Rebels have very few guys available. Not many pitchers out here so far this season. 2-2 pitch from Ethan Henry. Fouled off over to the right. Count holds 2-2. Two-two pitch. Outside, full count now on Kaiser Harrington. Jackson Pate waiting on deck for the Generals.
I think this might be the last batter for Henry.
Full count pitch, called strike 3. Kaiser Harrington goes down looking.
Coach Shepard's about 3 steps out of the dugout.
That'll be
I think
out number
if
1.
that was a ball, he was going to make the call there, but he stays put after the strikeout.
Number 37, Keyshawn Brett.
Keyshawn Frett is apparently number 37, so we finally have an answer. 1 ball on Frett.
This was the pinch hitter back in the 6th inning that we did not have an ID on based on roster. His number wasn't in the roster yet. Must have been assigned today. That's pretty common early in the season in the Valley. Rosters are very much in flux.
2 balls, no strikes on Frett. Runners still on second and third. It's Martin on third, Clavette on second. Next pitch from Henry is inside. Fastball low and inside for ball 3. Next pitch from Henry, hit up the middle. That'll be an RBI for Fret. 2 RBIs. That'll be a 2 RBI single. Clears the bases. And Waynesboro now has a 9-4 lead. Clavette and Martin scoring on that single up the middle. Jake Morgan coming up to bat now.
Number 21, Jake Morgan.
Morgan 1 for 3 tonight. So just 1 out. Fret over on first. We're still not positive that it's Fret, but
It's what we're going with.
we're going with
and
it.
it's the end of that discussion until somebody helps us out.
True. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. A lot of people without a number in their roster, so not sure who that is. That pitch just a little outside, 1-1. 1 out, 1 runner on, 1-1 count. Next pitch shows bunt, in for a strike, throwback to first. Tag isn't applied, but nice throw by Dobkowski. So 1-2 count now.
There was a bit on the second base side of first base. If that was put right on the bag, might have had him.
Would have to agree. 1-2 curveball popped into shallow right field and no man's land. There'll be a bloop single out there. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. Charlie Shepard going in.
And we're going to take a brief break while that's happening. We're back in action. The new pitcher is Andrew Lynch from the West Virginia Institute of Technology.
Lynch, a returner from 2023, throw down to second, gets into center field. Runners are going to advance. So this game really getting away from the Rebels now this inning.
I believe that's going to be the third. Zabkowski behind the plate. Two more runners in scoring position for the Generals. Still only one away.
Next pitch, 2 balls, no strikes.
Cannon getting his second at bat of the inning.
I have him on his first. I might be lying.
You're right. You're right. Ninth batter of the inning.
True, yeah. 3 balls, no strikes on Buchanan. More than likely, they will bat around here.
Either a very strange double play or our score sheets are ruined for the night. Two possibilities.
That one's inside, so that'll be a walk. Put runners all over the bases. That's going to be Ildefonso. That is actually who number 37 is. Ildefonso on third, Jake Morgan on second, and Buchanan on first, and our scorebooks are indeed ruined. James Green led off this inning with a single and a run scored. That ball hit into right field. That ball get down. 1 run will come in. That'll be an RBI single. Second single of the inning for James Green. Scores Ildefonso. Jake Morgan moving over to third. Buchanan making his way to second. Still just 1 out, bases loaded. Daniel Smith stepping up to the plate. One ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch from Lynch is high. 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0, swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. One out, bases loaded for the Generals. Now a 10-4 lead. Lots of action tonight around the base path. Pitch outside, 3-1.
Lynch in danger of walking in a run. Always hate to see that, any level of baseball. If he can battle back here.
That ball hit in fair territory. Third baseman's going to step on the base, not make a throw over, so he'll get the force out at third.
It'll be a fielder's choice, 5 unassisted.
That's Jack Johnson making the play.